Hello guys, we're back again with the episode 3 of Youth Startup. And this episode 3, we want to talk about now you're out of campus, you've hustled, you've managed and your ways out until you're employed or you're self-employed. We want to tell you how to use this money that you're getting. So before we get down to it, as we do, my good friends here will introduce themselves and how you can connect with them on social media and tell you what they do. I'll begin with Mr. Robert here.
Okay, by names I go by the name Robert Doyopia. I'm an accountant by profession. I run a hardware business where we supply building materials. So currently I'm on WhatsApp and Twitter. So my WhatsApp number is 0712 40 60 99. Yes.
Yes, okay. Thank you.
I'm Omondi Steve Otieno, a teacher by profession. At the same time, also run a business in town. So to get me, you find me on Facebook, Omondi Steve, and also on WhatsApp, 0729 056261.
The business they mentioned, in case you missed watching episode 1 or 2, is having a very nice, good gym. You know how we do. If I'm training there, it have to be something good. So he has a very good gym. If you are within Migori County, hit me up. I'll direct you. We'll get down to it now. How can a youth who is just employed, who is going to have some huge or big cash for the first time, manage the cash that is getting? Mr. Steve.
Okay. How to manage the cash?
Yes.
You know, this is what keeps you going. You need to get it on a monthly basis, on a weekly basis, depending on how you are paid. The first thing on how to manage your cash, it starts with discipline. You have to be disciplined more so to your employer. Your employer might be younger than you, older than you, or whatever age. You have to respect them. Then there is also ethics, the code and conduct of every firm that are normally being given to the employees. Follow them to the letter. They are part of managing your finances, because if you don't respect these rules, you will be fired, and once fired, no cash.
You lose a job.
Yes. So ethics of that firm, of that job, you have to follow them to the letter. And now when it comes to the money you are earning, on my side,
Yes.
you should be having a target, what you want to achieve within this given period of time. Most of the people who are employed, they like taking loan to develop themselves, because waiting for the end of the month to get money and develop sometimes is a bit tricky. Once you have this money, have a goal, have a vision with this your job. After 5 years, I want to have a home. So spend this money responsibly in the line of the what? Or in short, its purpose. The purpose was to do what? Have a home. Look for a land, build a home. After that, what do you want to do next? Because as years goes, you are also approaching your retirement age. Yeah. So this money, don't just spend it. Have a strategy. Maybe once you are employed, maybe your parents were not having good home, blah blah. Have your own money, build them a nice home, the one you can afford. After that, build yours. Yeah, so me, I believe that you should be having a strategy, a vision. After this period of time, what do I need to get?
Yes.
In as much you also wish to spend it on yourself, have some fun, but just a token of it. But much of it, focus on developing yourself. Yes.
Thank you so much, Mr. Robert. How can you advise this youth who is newly employed to maneuver his ways? Employed, not self-employment.
Oh, so once you get a job.
Yes, you're now employed.
So you're making some money.
Yes, you're going to have some good cash for your own work for the first time.
Yeah. First of all, enjoy your money.
Enjoy your money.
Yes, so work so hard for it. You only live once.
That's how it is.
Yes, you only live once. Once you believe that you only live once, you enjoy the process, enjoy the money, enjoy the hustle, enjoy the savings. So I think first of all you must have a budget, like for 1 month how much you should be using. Then set up some cash for the budget. Then set up some cash for the savings. Because they always say that you have to save like 6 months or whatever you're spending. So you can save some cash for that drought period that maybe should come. So for an emergency fund, so that you can be like you're very safe, have that safe environment. And then now in terms of now, after creating that emergency fund, then now you can create now. Look at the investment opportunities that you have right now. Maybe you can buy shares. Maybe you can buy things like you have the mortgages. Yes, you have a lot of investment opportunities. You can buy we also have these investment farms. Yeah, so maybe you can also go into that and maybe land or just develop something.
Okay.
Yes.
In short, just invest your money into something that will also give you money.
Yes, because you know that passive income is very important. Passive income is something that you're not working towards anything.
Yes.
It only comes, like the rental income, that is passive income.
Yeah.
Like the dividends from shares, that is passive income. Yeah, so you must make money, and then also you should invest in things that even when you're sleeping, money is coming in. It's very good so that you have that also in your pocket. Yes.
But let me ask you, the first thing you said, if a youth gets its salary, is to enjoy your money. What did you mean by that? Explain to them. How should a youth enjoy his money for the first time he's earning a salary?
I think for the first salary that maybe you get, just have the feeling of having your own money. You can have that feeling. It depends on, like, you can send it to your parents, some to your parents, and then maybe they also can enjoy the same cash. Yes, but also you just have the sense of it that now this is my money that I've worked for. You don't have to be so strict on yourself. Yeah, so maybe the first salary, they say maybe I don't know, but they say that maybe you should bless it. Yeah, so it's good.
I think, I don't know. I didn't see your point coming. I saw you giving a different point because, episode 1 and 2, whenever we were talking, you were like, give yourself to God and blah blah, submit to church. So yes. According to me, I thought your first point would be
if I've said enjoy your money, doesn't mean going to the club.
I didn't say that, but yes. I'm saying to me, I thought your first point ought to have been like go to church, help other people, just give it to God, not all of it, but just a portion of it, just to thank Him for enabling you have a job.
That
tithe offering.
Yeah, we should give our 10%. You know that.
Yes.
That is automatically.
I think, according to me, I thought that was the first thing you also have said.
No. That is automatic. That is automatic. That comes with your own framework that you are. That is automatic. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. All right. I won't add, but I'll do that later. So let me talk about this youth who is. He got out of campus, then he began his own hustle, his own business. How can you advise a person who just began his or her own business to spend this money or to maneuver his ways so that the business cannot fall but keeps on growing? Now that both of you, or like all of you, you have some personal business that you're running,
yes.
How can you advise this person to spend this money so that the business keeps on growing? They don't end up, regretting for starting the business.
You have to reinvest most of your profits into the business.
The same business?
Yes, you have to reinvest most of your profits in the business. And then for the first 6 months, you don't have to take a salary.
Okay.
Yes, just find something that you can feed on, but at some point you have to get paid from the business. But the most important thing is that most of your proceeds should be returned to the business.
Okay.
Don't take money out of the business. Never. Unless you have set up your own salary. Don't mind that should be coming out of your own salary. Yes.
So after you've paid all your workers or the people helping you, you should
You also have to
reinvest.
pay yourself.
You're supposed to be paying yourself.
Yes. Because how will you survive?
How am I going to make the calculation on how to pay myself?
The bad part is that most African business that we do, we don't pay ourselves. You find that maybe you have sold something and then you take money out of the business. That is not your own salary. For you to be very disciplined with the business, and you have to give the business the respect that it deserves, you should pay yourself from the business.
Okay.
Is that you should set, like, for me, for example, my business should pay me like 10,000. And then now, after paying yourself and paying your suppliers and paying your workers, then you survive on whatever the business paid. Because the money, the money that you have is for the business. It is not your money. Your money is whatever you're being paid from the business. Have a separate identity for the business and yourself. The business should be having the life of its own. Maybe you are broke, but the business is not broke. Maybe the business is broke, but you're not broke as a person. Yes. You must have that separate identity from the business. That's why they say usually when you want to set up a business, you must start by registering the business at the eCitizen platform.
Yeah.
After that business, then have a separate bank account for the business. And then also in terms of the separate KRA PIN. And then now in terms of how do you pay your suppliers, you don't pay your suppliers, you pay your suppliers from the business. Give them your own checkbook, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes, Molim. This person just began his or her own business after campus. He's going to hold this cash for the first time.
Yes.
How are you going to advise him or her to spend the money into growing herself or himself and expanding the business?
Okay. Every business comes with its own challenge. You know, some business, when you start for the first time, it booms. Okay. Some, when you start for the first time, you even pump money to support it. They are different.
After starting it?
After starting it immediately, even paying the house rent can become a problem. But it catches with the time. But some booms at its initial stage. But with the time, it reduces. So give yourself at least 6 months and above to study the nature of this your business. Is it the one that booms from the beginning or the one that rises progressively? If it is the one that rises progressively, pump money into it. Support your business with your own money. Fund it. Until that point, it becomes stable. If it booms at the initial stage, take your time. Study it. Will it survive? Will it continue being like this? Because every business has its own competition. Maybe it's booming because it's now new in town. What about after 5 years? I mean, for 5 months, 3 months, maybe another business can come in the same business. It can collapse. So give it like 6 months. If it is stable, now you can rate your business. Now you know very well that this business gives me this. This one gives me this. These are now the profit. And this profit, how will I be spending this profit? This share is mine. This for my employee. This you repatriate it back to the what? To the business. And you will find yourself growing.
So you said if it's booming so fast, you don't invest. Take your time to study it.
You study it.
But if it's growing slowly, you invest there.
Yeah, don't lose. It can grow slow to an extent that you also pump your money to even pay your employees. You're using your own money, not from the business. So you don't have to lose hope. You keep on going. You keep on working towards that business. Yes.
So even if the first time I employed people, I ended up paying them with my own money, the business has not yet picked, I should wait for at least 6 months.
Depending.
Question. Why do you employ people without the business picking up?
Maybe at the initial, maybe, you know, this
because,
now.
for example, if you're not expanding the business, now you're starting employing, now you're employing more people because the business is expanding. But the initial stage of the business has not expanded yet. We don't need the extra hands. We don't need it. We can work with whatever we have. If, for example, that the business is being run by a family of 2 people, a man and a wife, if we now need more ants because we have now more customers coming in, then now I employ more people. But why should I take up that initial baggage of anticipating that the business will pick up and employ more people, and then we don't get the customers? We only employ when there's a need, but we don't have to employ because we are anticipating some kind of a sale to be made based on that.
Okay.
So the moment that maybe you're trying to expand, you find that we have these banks that they expand, they open a lot more in terms of brick and mortar. You have the supermarket chain that so you expand more than whatever you anticipated, so that you bring in more guys, and then now the business comes now. It is now complex because now you have to reason out with more employees, you have to reason out with more career guys, you have to reason out with more government, and then so the business is now more complex than you, the initial sole proprietor. So if in case you are anticipating something, or you know that the business will boom, or you have seen that there's a demand to employ more people, but at the initial stage of the business, you'll keep your fixed costs so down.
Okay.
So look at your own cost, like the fixed cost that we have. We have the rental income, like the rental cost. We have also things like the normal municipality, like the licenses and the permits. Those you have to pay. So irrespective whether the business is doing well or not, you have to pay that. In terms of rent, you have to pay that. In terms of electricity, you have to pay that. In terms of maybe security, like maybe a soldier, you have to pay that. But in now times of now, we have now the variable cost, which increases because the business is growing. Now we have now the employees. You see, we have now taking up more storage places. Yeah. So those ones will come depending on how the business is growing. If there's a need be, we'll employ more people. If there's a need be, we'll open up more stores. But so far, because we already see the demand coming in, and right now, as I can say about this country, we don't see that the demand meets the supply, because everybody is suffering everywhere. The business environment right now is very tough. So you have to be very, very lean. Lean in terms of how much do you spend, how much are you making, how much do you pay people. So even if it in terms of maybe taking a salary cut, you have to do that. But at the initial stage, you should not employ more than what is needed.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. You should just begin it.
Don't take up more of a variable cost than you can afford at that stage. And even at the fixed cost, you can't be like you open up a warehouse where you pay like a rental cost of even like 20,000. Yet your business can't sustain that in the long run.
Yeah.
Just start from small, and then maybe if there's a need to be, you'll move out.
In fact, that brings me to a question that I ought to have asked prior before that. What are these things that you can advise a youth to check on before beginning their own business? Mr. Steve.
What they have to check before you start your own business?
They have to put some things into consideration.
Okay, number one,
Yes.
availability of funds. What do I have? Is this enough to start this? So the funds you must check. Then another one is the interest. Your interest, your area of interest. Is this something you can manage?
Do you love this job?
Do you love this job? I've seen some people starting a business that they cannot run. If your employee quits, the business collapses. You get it? Have you seen such?
Yes.
You have
yes,
the business, but if the person you employ there leaves job, then that business also collapses. Have a business that you yourself can run. You get it? So that even if the other person leaves you, you can take charge. You also have to take those into consideration. Yes. And also look at the environment. Not all business will thrive everywhere.
How do you frame that?
Opportunity.
Availability of market
Yeah.
for your product or what you're selling.
Yeah. Look at the locality. This one can do well here. So take that chance with whatever that can prosper in that area. Yes.
Mr. Robert, what are you going to advise these youths to check before beginning their business? Perhaps the business can be agriculture, agribusiness or something. What are they supposed to be checking into before choosing or beginning?
I think the most important thing that you must do in your business is that you have to love it. You must love your job so that you're willing to wake up each and every day for it. and you must be willing to take all the risk, and you must be also be willing to know that the bad days will come. The bad days will come. We don't say that only there are the good days. The bad days are there, and the bad days you learn a lot more than you can learn from the good days.
That was my next question actually, but just continue.
Yes, so from the bad days we learn a lot more than the good days. So you have to be very, very in love with the business that you are doing, and you be willing to do it every day, and you be very, very disciplined and be very resilient. The bad days are coming, and you will learn a lot from them.
That brings me to a question, but I will want Mwalimu to answer it first. Mr. Teacher, how do you handle the bad days that you just wake up, you feel so tired that you don't want to see any student in front of you, you don't want to go to a class or an office, you just feel so lazy. How do you handle these days?
You must love your job. That is number one. When you are low, if you just think of your job, you just feel like you are okay. That is your thing, part of you. In fact, if you love your job, even by the time you are off holiday, you just miss it. So just like Robert said, you must love it. Something you love, you must get away
To commit to
it. Even on a bad day, in fact, don't take those bad days as normal days, but we learn a lot on that day. Yeah.
Okay, that brings me to, before I come to Robert, if you are employed, we're no longer talking about your own business. You're employed, and you find that back in campus, some students go to study a course that they didn't choose for themselves. Sincerely speaking, you've experienced people who go to a university to study a course that he or she was chosen was told to go do this course by the parent or the guardian who is financing, and you feel it's your bad day. How are they supposed to be handling these bad days? They didn't choose the course, but by the end of the day, they need some cash.
So, when it comes to loving the job, you cannot just wake up one day and love it. For instance, I've gone to the campus and this course I've been chosen by my parents. It is now my responsibility. That thing has fallen on you. You have to start liking it. As days go, get used to it. That is now part of your life. That will be your entire life.
You adopt to it.
You have to adapt to it. By the time you are leaving the campus, that is now you. The campus has changed you to be that man. Yes.
Mr. Robert, the first question was, I'm a business lady or a man.
Yes.
How am I going to handle these bad days in my own business?
You have to show up daily.
There's some days, my man, you just wake up and you don't feel like reporting there.
Then you don't love the job so much.
So you have to love it.
You have to love it. You have to be so much in love with whatever you are doing, and you be so much passionate about it, to the level that even if you fail, you have to stick to it, and you have to show up daily. In life, you have to show up daily, specifically because you know that whatever you're doing, even if you don't make money off it, but up to a certain point that you don't have to make money off it. But if you don't love it, then at the end of you doing it. So the moment that you feel bad about it, maybe you never love it that much. Yeah.
How about, before we go to the person employed, let me ask you this. Initially, in episode 1 or 2, I guess, you said that you should try it out for 3 years.
Yes.
If it doesn't work by 3 years, drop that.
Then, yes.
It's not working for you.
That is a hobby.
And Mwalimu said here that give yourself a 6-month period with your business. If it's not working, leave that business.
I think we should do 3 years.
3 years.
If you do a business for 3 years and it is not making any money, that is an hobby. That is a business.
How about if this is what I love?
No, that is an hobby.
This is what I like. I love that. I wake up every day.
That is your hobby. If you are a rapper, you rap for 3 years and you don't make any what's going there, that is a hobby. That is a business. Business, we have to pay, we have to make income, we have to pay people, money must come in and money must go.
What can you say about that? Starting a business, and with according to him, you give yourself a period of 3 years.
Yes.
According to you, say 6 months. Support your point. Yeah.
So what I was saying was, mine was majorly on the expenditure.
Okay.
You get it? As the business begins, it means if it thrives at the initial stage, don't spend this money. Take your time, study it. After like 6 months is enough for you to know that this is my business. At least I can have like this amount of money per month. You get
That
it?
is for some statistics.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So after these 6 months, you can even say now, if it is like this, I can comfortably pay this rent. I can comfortably spend this on my side. If need arises, I can comfortably pay this to my employee.
Okay.
Yeah, they don't just for the expenditure.
Okay. Now I hear. Now I got you, Mr. Robert. You're employed. The course that you took, or the career that you took in campus, you didn't choose as a person. And now after campus, you have a job. You don't love this thing, and this the course of the job, and luckily enough, you have a chance to work somewhere or employed. And how do you, in this case, how are you going to handle these bad days?
So you went to campus.
Yes,
You did a course.
that was chosen for you by the parents or guardian who is paying fee.
So they chose for your course.
Yeah,
And then you did it. And you're finished.
and performed well.
Then you have to be in it.
No excuse.
There's no excuse. Because the moment that you, the steps that you took towards that course, you did it for 4 years. And you showed up every day. The big thing about a degree, degree is not about just the certificate. Degree is showing a potential employer that you are required to do a specific task, and the series of tasks that you are given, you are supposed to handle them within a specific period of time, and then you did them within that time and gave the desired result. So the moment you're taking up that course, you already know whatever is required of that course. And the biggest thing that you should learn to say is, say no. I don't want it. You should do that from first year. There's no need of them wasting their own money teaching you
Do
for
something
4 years.
that you don't have
And then
interest in.
then you do something that you don't have interest in. For what purpose? Why are you doing it for them? No. This is your life you're talking about. We're not talking about your parents' life, not your brother's life or your family's life. This is your own life. So do something that you can do for the next 30 years and you feel comfortable in it. So you have to be true to yourself in this life. You don't have to do things based on whatever people are telling you to do. This is your life. This is not their life. Yeah.
So from the both of their points, they've said that you have to show up every day. Whether you're going to adapt, whether you love it or not, so long as it's a job which is bringing something to your pocket, show up every day. No excuse. Let me ask a different thing. Mr. Steve, how do you balance being employed and being self-employed? You as a person, how do you balance that? Because perhaps there's a person who is watching this show who is employed, and again, he will wish to have some side hustle. But your advice might, help someone there to manage or know how to manage their time and balance the two.
Once you are employed, you don't have to waste the resources of that company, the resources of the government. There is timeline that you are needed at the job. You have to be there, deliver as stipulated.
Yes.
Now, this were extra time. Maybe I'm leaving the job at 5. You can only show up at your place from 5:30, going onwards over the weekends. So the challenge that is there is to look for a person who is trustworthy, who can man that business like his or her own. That is now the challenge, getting someone to manage that business. So you have to study this person well enough. There is someone you get it. And again, when beginning your business, maybe if you are employed, at one point you are on leave.
Yes.
Your leave can go for 3 months. You get it? Start this your business when you are on leave to give you more time to study your business. You know the income, what you can get there. So that when you employ somebody, you know what that business should be giving you. So in the initial stage, have time with your business. Run it by yourself. Know the challenges, the potential of your business, know the income. So when you employ somebody, you just know this my business runs like this, like this, like this. Because if you don't do that, some of the employees are also tricky. They'll purchase similar product and they sell at the expense of your business. They're the people earning, not you. But if you are there, you know if it is stock, you know what is fast selling and what is not.
How fast the product is moving.
Yes. So take your time first with the business, be there. Yes.
Okay, that is so good. That is so good. And here we have Mr. Robert, who decided to take a very good, I don't know, first class degree and just put it away, and now he's having his own business. Mr. Man, how do you do you at one time miss being employed?
I don't miss it.
You don't you don't totally miss using your first class degree.
I had a second class upper division.
Oh, second class, okay.
Yes, I don't miss employment. Whatever I'm doing right now, I'm so much in love with it.
Okay.
I can't say that I miss it. So the calling was so loud. I think the calling was so loud for me. Well, I think I had the plan of moving out even before I joined the employment world. The plan was there.
Okay.
We only need that. I just needed to have that discipline of working under somebody and having that the discipline and the respect, so that I could now work on my own.
Okay.
Yeah, but I just wanted to maybe go under somebody, learn one or two things, and then just step. That's why I didn't like work for like 3 to 4 years. No, we did it only for 1.5 years, and I was done.
So you worked. Okay, you didn't tell us where did you work, and
I was a banker before.
a banker.
Yes.
Working where specifically? Or employed where?
In a bank.
Okay.
I won't name the specific bank right now.
Okay, but
the people
area,
who know me, the
region.
people, I was working at Koinange Street under the head office
Okay.
branch, yes.
Okay. Then you decided to come and begin your own business, and now you're running it.
Yes.
So at this point, you say totally you don't regret or you don't wish to be employed again. If need be for you to be employed, can you take the chance?
No, I can't take it. If there's one thing that I don't want to do and I want to live in regret, in everything that I've done in this life, I don't regret anything.
Even to the bad choices that you happen to have made.
They have made me who I am right now. You love me the way I am right now. The bad decisions, the bad choices, the bad calls that you have made outside there at the field, they have molded me. I'm a good guy, and I am who I am because of those calls. So I can't take them back. They were calls that they were to be made, and they were made. And if you're out there and you're feeling like something is holding you back from just pursuing your own passion and being the greater person that you want to be, I think you can just step out. Because at some point, this issue of, let me just say personally, the issue of having a side hustle, at some point, there's a Swahili proverb, utapasuka msamba. Yes, at some point, one of them has to give way. Even if Mr. Steve is doing it, at some point, one of them has to give way.
Okay.
Either it will be teaching or the gym work. But one of them will have to give way. Because there's an analogy in business. They say that you are stealing from the first wife and giving the second wife. Right now, Mr. Steve is stealing from teaching and is giving to the gym. That is the truth.
Okay. So he is not loyal to the first wife.
He's not loyal to the first wife.
Which is the teaching.
The first wife is a teacher. Is a teacher. That is his first wife. The second wife is now the gym.
The gym.
Yeah, so he's stealing from the first wife and giving the. So he's feeding. You can't do that. At some point, one of them has to leave you. So if you are really passionate about whatever you want to do, because that call was very, very difficult to make, and I was thinking about it from the start. I wanted first of all to resign in January. I didn't resign, and then I went to March. I didn't resign. Then it came to June. That's okay now. Then the moment that I wrote the letter stayed in my closet for like 1 month before submitting to the HR, because I was thinking, okay, the moment is closed. Okay. And then they say, no, we went, took the letter there, and they say, okay, now you are done. So this is it. You are done now. I say, okay, now we have given you 30 days. You have given us a notice of 30 days. You have to leave. For those 30 days, you have to return all banks documents and everything, and we won't pay you until you are now cleared. It was, sometimes you feel that like maybe the bad days make you feel that you want to go back to
your
employment.
initial job. Yeah.
But now it comes back to the love that you have. So you have to make those bold calls at some point in life. Whether it is business, whether it is marriage, whether it is your own education. Yes, and whether you also want to be great in life.
Yeah.
You have to make that call, because people just move in averagely at the end of the day without making any impact in other people's life. But you only have 2 jobs to do in this world. Number 1 job is be a good person. Yeah. And the second job is now being impactful. Not how much money you will make, but while you were in this world, what impact did you have in people's life? What change did you make? That people can say, okay, now, while Robert was here, Robert did 1 or 2 things. 1, 2, 3 things, yes. So, just be impactful. After being a good person, just be impactful. Go out there and just live your life. Yes.
Oh. That is a very great challenge. Mr. Steve, can you give us your last remark or words or advice or anything?
Okay.
Yeah.
When it comes to employment, once employed, kindly use the public resources effectively. Yeah. Even if your employee is far from you, just have that guilt. Yeah. Just use them well.
Okay.
Yeah, deliver well, be respectful, code and conduct of every firm, kindly follow them. Yes.
Mr. Robert, your last remarks for the people watching the show.
What I would like to say is that as a man, as a woman, have a sense of structure, that the line that you live by, like you live by a certain codes of conduct. Before you follow any companies or any government code of conduct, you must also have your own code of conduct. That we expect this kind of something from this guy. So that people don't say, okay, now we knew that this was coming. Because they know you. So have that kind of, that framework that you have. Make your structure with God, align that structure, make it correct. Make your family structure with the kind of family that you are coming from. And the kind of family that you are going to create. Also, that structure should be defined in terms of the business. Because in terms of why I talk about this structure, because we owe a lot of responsibility to the society, that is one, because we are here. We owe it also to our church, because we have to make the church grow. We owe it to our country, we have to pay our own taxes. We owe it to our family, because the family is where we come from, and the family that we create. And also we owe it to ourselves to make an impact, such that tusitoke tu kwa hii dunia venye tulikuja. Make something that maybe, okay, he was here and he made something good for us. Yes.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, our viewers. Thank you so much, Mr. Steve and Mr. Albert, for being here to educate the youths watching this show. I guess every person, whether you're a parent, whether you're a youth, whichever age you fall in between, you've learned something from episode 1 until we now here in episode 3. Once again, see you again in the next season, which will be our season 3. Bye for now.